Hello fellow window genies. Today I'm going to show you a short clip of how to install gutter dome. So let's do it. Okay, now that we have cleaned the gutters out, it's time to put it in. As you can tell, we have installed basically the whole house, and this is a small section that we have left over. So I'm going to show you what we do. We're going to take the gutter dome and we're going to insert the gutter dome in between the two shingles. If you can't do in between the two shingles, you can go all the way underneath the first one. I prefer in between. Doesn't make much of a difference. So this piece has been installed. I usually take the tip and try to squeeze that in first, and then I'll drive it in. Now that I have the back piece in, I'm going to drive it up a little bit, just wiggle it around, and put it in. Now that it's in, we want to sandwich it together. Before we do that, at the end of each piece, we want to put a dab of caulking, like so, right here. We want to seal down. We put a dab of caulking at the end, at every seam, and it's exactly what I'm going to do on this end. Hold on, I'm going to get my gun. Okay. Now that I have my gun, we're going to put a dab of caulking in between, like so. Okay. I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to drive it in. Sandwich it together and basically take the remaining off. Okay, once this is done and sealed, we're going to take our screws, use the holes, the existing holes, Now that we've installed this piece, we're going to go ahead and install our last piece. We're going to cut this side. We're going to keep this seam here as a factory edge. We are going to have a little bit of an overlap, and the factory edge is a smoother edge than our rough side, which we're going to seam anyway. So we're going to go ahead and cut this side out. I'm going to measure this piece here, like so. It's going to be no different than you installing another piece. So we're going to push it in as much as we can. And looking at the inside of the gutter here, we want to measure out just in between and at the end. We don't want to go to the very, very end. We want to go about here, and you'll see the inside part of the gutter because we want it to end inside piece. Okay, so we're going to go and cut right now. Okay, first thing is first. I'm going to put my glasses on. Always wear safety glasses. Hold on good. I want to show you what type of blade we use to cut the gutter dome. We use a Diablo blade. It's 12-inch with 100 teeth. It makes a very, very smooth cut. And this is why we encourage everyone to use. This is per manufacturer recommendation. Now that we have our last piece cut and measured, we're going to go ahead and install it. Remember that in between, we put a dab of caulk. Just to make a small note, we try to use impact drivers and not drills. Okay, now that we have put on the gutter dome on the house, we have now reached the end, and we're ready to actually seal and cap the end. The way we're going to do that is like so. A piece of aluminum. We made a little template from a plastic. You can make it from wood or any other product you'd like. It's shaped just like the gutter. We're going to put it in. You don't have to make the curve. Okay. We're going to mark this out here. We're going to take our snips. And I typically like to cut this on an angle because there's really no need for fancy work in the front. Cut this out here. It'll look like this. And obviously for the other side, you're going to want to reverse it. This piece here is going to go to the side. Like that. And then from the inside, when we put it inside of the gutter, we're going to measure from the back side. Depending on the pitch of the roof, we're going to measure that, mark it, and cut it. And that's it. So here we go. Now that I have the piece cut out, I'm going to put some caulking on the inside white part that's going to go right against the inside of the end cap so it sticks to it. Okay, so just like that. Put a little bit more caulking. Just so it doesn't go anywhere. Seal it nice and good. And we're done. That's it. Now we're going to do a little recap on what we've done so far. So obviously step number 1 is to clean out the gutters properly and flush them out. Step number 2 is to start installing the gutter dome. I typically start from the high point of the gutter, which is the opposite side of the leader. That's the difficult area since it's very high, and then work your way down towards the leader. Put the caulking in between the seams. As you get to the end, measure, cut. And when you have finally installed your last piece, put your end caps and put some caulking adhesive in there to seal it all out, and you should be good to go. Good luck.